I have Bowser in the car. I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I need to get water storing crystals. I'm gonna plant some pawpaw seeds. That's a real slow growing plant, by the way. I don't even know if I'll be alive by the time they're fruiting. It's a very slow growing plant, but I'm gonna plant them anyway. And what else? I got Remy in the car. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go by Home Depot. I might go by PetSmart, maybe Walmart. We're gonna run some errands with Bowser. Some kids, as we were walking in, I saw them, and then they went through to the other side to do the old, "We like your dog." Yeah, thanks. It's that, here, heel. Man, people just have to stare at the fucking dog, man. It's obnoxious. Like you're not helping train somebody's dog by staring at them. You know? Jesus fuck. Bowser, sit. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. Water storing crystals. They're polymers that hold water. And for pawpaws, you can't let the pawpaws, especially when they're young, they're not drought tolerant. So this is effective. It is. This works for just about any plant too. It just releases water when it's needed. They work great. I recommend it highly. I use these for almost every plant I'm putting in. We're here, and since there's a lot of assholes, obviously, in the store today, I'm gonna walk around with Bowser. If anybody tries to distract him, I'll correct Bowser and tell him no, get it heel. People are jerks, man. He's just standing there looking at the dog, you know? What the fuck, you know? You're not helping, idiots. So there were some kids as we came out of that aisle, and Bowser kept turning around and looking at the kids. He thinks he's going to get something from kids. So every time he turns his head, I'm telling him no and correcting him. Sit. You know, that's not good. Dogs go in the direction of their head. If they're turned around looking at the kid, they're not paying attention to you. Heel. You know? Kids aren't the best thing for dogs. They aren't. You know, they're never telling the dog anything negative. They can't, even if they say no, it's in this tone that, get over here at heel right now. You know, it's always like this sing-songy voice. You know, it's true, I'm telling you. You know, they're down low. They're causing excitement. They're encouraging excitement, and they're giving the dog positive reinforcement constantly. It's not the best, not ideal in most cases. My parents would have never let me go up and pet someone's dog. No fucking way, you know? My parents were constantly, like I remember, don't run around the dogs, you know? That's my mom too, not just my dad. You know, don't run around the dogs. They got it, you know. I don't know why other parents can't get it. People are generally idiots. Sit. I was looking at these online. This is an awesome product. These things here, what they are is they're for a post. That, like, if you want to put a post in the ground, you don't have to dig a hole. You just slam these into the ground. They also have one that's a big screw. You screw it into the ground, and then you put the 4x4 in there and clamp it down. It's good. It's good. I think I'm going to use some of these. Not now, but I am going to use some. I think I'm going to put up a large wood fence. So it's doubled up. No, heel. I had no idea they'll thread pipe for you here too. I didn't know that. It's easy to thread your own pipe though. I did it in the military. Walked by one of the employees. She directed it to me. She said, "Your puppy's real cute." She wasn't looking at the dog. She was looking at me. That's fine. You know? That's fine. She wasn't trying to distract the dog. Sit. It's doing good. Okay, here's something that I need. It's Rust-Oleum leak seal. It's a flexible rubber coating. I'm going to use it as a primer on a part of my tin ceiling that is a little bit rusty. You know, I'm going to take a wire brush to it, and then I'll use that, and then I'll prime it again, and then I'll go over it. It's cheaper than that stuff they advertise on TV. It's only $8.67. That Flex Seal or whatever on TV, you know, they had the tape and all that. That stuff's about $12, $13 a can. No, sit. So I'm gonna get a can of white. We'll try it. Okay, this product right here, right? It's called Extreme Stretch. I tried it. I did not like it. If I was gonna use anything like that, I'd use silicone. It's a no-go. No good. Lady at the self-checkout, of course, had to ask me about Bowser, what kind of dog he is, what the shit. I'm trying to fucking check out, you know? It's clear it's a puppy, you know? Puppies are easily distracted. So I said, he's a service dog. Would you please just ignore the dog? You know, she's right up on him, looking at him, smiling. It doesn't matter if it's a service dog or a house dog. Just leave it fucking alone, people. God fucking damn it. Is this really that fucking difficult? It can't be, can it? Dogs are so easy to excite, you know? People are idiots. Sit! Before we get in the car. Bowser, down! Sit! No, sit! Good. Down. Sit! No, sit! He's compliant at the no. He needs more work, you know. He hadn't had that much training. Bowser, down! No, down. Bowser, sit! Bowser, down. Bowser, sit! Good boy! Get in here, you knucklehead. Caine, you're the knucklehead. I'm a total people person. I am. I think we'll go to... Well, that would be a drive. We're right by Walmart. Do I need anything from Walmart? I could get myself food. And we're also right by Tractor Supply. I think I'll take him in Tractor Supply. I saw a tweet this morning by Frank Stallone, and if you don't know who Frank Stallone is, that's Sly Stallone's little brother. He's like a B actor. He's been in a few movies. About on the same level as Stallone's mom, Jackie Stallone, maybe even lower. Before I say this, I want to be perfectly clear that I vote GOP, but I did not vote for Donald Trump. There was no way I was going to vote for that guy. Absolutely not. No way. And I'm appalled by the GOP, and I'm also at the same time amazed with the propaganda that's put out by Fox. And that's exactly what it is. I'm not saying that Shepard Smith doesn't do straight reporting or Chris Wallace, but there's just crazy stuff coming out of Fox, and it's all stuff that really comes out of our president's mouth, which is he's just lying. You know, it's weird. It's like the more shit you throw up on the wall, something's gonna stick. That's what he's doing. I'm telling you, that's what he's doing. So this morning I see a tweet by Frank Stallone, and Frank Stallone was attacking David Hogg pretty much in a worse way than Laura Ingraham. And granted, Frank Stallone doesn't have the reach that Laura Ingraham has, but he does have a reach because of his brother's fame. And I'm going to have to paraphrase, I don't have the quote with me, but what he said was that David Hogg is getting a little bit too big for his britches, that I'm sure that there's a lot of people, a lot of other kids that would love to sucker punch this little snot-nosed rich kid. He's attacking a 17-year-old kid, and he's also sort of encouraging somebody to punch David Hogg or beat David Hogg up. Like, what kind of upbringing did you have that you would do something like this? You know, like, what school did what kind of high school did Frank Stallone go to and Sly go to that is commonplace? And I know that kind of attitude exists in high school. It just didn't exist in my high school, and I don't think that it exists in David Hogg's high school. So I was not a rich kid, but I grew up around rich kids. And flat out, man, anybody that thinks that like somebody's an asshole because they're rich, you know, somebody's an asshole, you know, because somebody's rich is just an idiot. There's decent poor people, there's poor people that are assholes, there's rich people that are, you know, totally charitable and worry about people. So to bring up the area that he lives in because there's, you know, it's upper middle class or wealthy is just absurd. That, you know, growing up in Clayton and going to Clayton High, I consider myself lucky. There was no bullying. There were groups like cliques, but of course, there, you know, nobody was like going after anybody, bullying them. And a matter of fact, I was talking with my friend Jinian, who I went to high school with. I've known her for, you know, a long time. There were a lot of years that I didn't talk to her. We got out of touch, but you know, we're both talking about the same thing, that there was no bullying at Clayton High, and that how everybody like just commingled in other groups. Like, you might have the smoking lounge group, you know, somebody in that's friends with somebody that's a jock, or somebody, you know, the druggies hanging around with, you know, the jocks. There just wasn't. There were groups, yes, but I mean, everybody, like, you go to a party on a Saturday night or some Friday night, you're talking to, you know, somebody in a group you don't normally sort of hang out with, but you're always friendly with them when you see them in school. You know, there was no bullying, none of that. So I consider myself lucky, and I'm sure it sounds like David Hogg is in a similar type of high school. So hearing somebody like Frank Stallone, an adult, he's probably older than me, trying to egg somebody on, and just giving this 17-year-old who is, you know, how do you talk about David Hogg but anything but like positive? If you are seeing this and you're thinking that I'm the asshole, look in the mirror. You know, I've been an NRA member for years. I'm not going to be. I'd never send them a check again. I'd never support that organization again. I'm a gun owner. I'm all for it. You know, I've said this about, you know, the AR. Like, I don't want to own one. I think that's just people that want to play Army Man. You know, why do you have to own that? You know, I saw some kid the other day walking around in a field the other day with something that looked like an AR. I asked him later, I said, what was it? Is that a BB gun, or is that, you know, was that an AR-15? And he said, no, it was airsoft. It looks just like an AR-15. This is a 21-year-old. He shoots airsoft. I don't know. You know, whatever you want to do. But it's sort of like playing Army Man, you know. I'm sorry, I just, I think that it's pathetic that Laura Ingraham would pick on this kid. You know, he's 17 years old. He can get up on stage in front of, you know, literally hundreds of thousands of people. He's on stage. Millions of people are watching this kid. So he's got guts. And we have somebody like Frank Stallone, you know, bad-mouthing him, you know, talking crap. You know, how many kids at Parkland have been attacked by adults, you know, calling them names. Emma Gonzalez, she's ripping up a Target, and then, you know, they change it to she's ripping up the Constitution. You all, and I'm talking about you all, meaning I know somebody that is gonna see this and is all for this and just can't stand these Parkland kids for doing what is their right. It's their constitutional right. It's called freedom of speech. If you don't like it, you know, you don't have to listen to it, and you certainly should not be attacking them in this manner. You know, somebody attacking Emma Gonzalez, you know, calling her a skinhead lesbian, you know, talking about her sexuality, it's really none of your business. And how somebody keeps their hair, believe me, I hear it all the time, is just absurd. What do you care how somebody styles or doesn't style their hair? It's probably easy for Emma. She can just wake up. You know, she doesn't have to do anything to her hair. I think the kid looks fine. You know? And to bring up somebody's sexuality is just... I heard it described as her not being a lesbian, but confused sexuality. Maybe she isn't confused, you know? And why do you care anyway? It's no one's business except the individual person. You got a problem with gay people? Why? You know, you have to ask yourself, why do you care so much about somebody's sexuality? Okay? Clearly, you're the one with issues. Does it bother you? Bothers you a whole lot? Is that it? Yeah, that's probably it. So, you know, that hearing Frank Stallone do something like that is just, this is nonsense. I've done videos where I talk about this. Like I was talking about David Hogg the other day, and of course, you know, I was being whiny. I was being whiny, and I said I'm being whiny in the video. And then there were these like Trump supporters that jumped on that. Like, well, I already said that I was being whiny, so why are you bringing it up? You know? Seriously, like, you know, some of these people don't have an original thought in their head. You know? It's a problem. And the average IQ is 100, and 100 is not real smart. I'm telling you. Nobody wants to be told that they're fucking average or below average. So that's how it is. All across this world, there's, you know, average is not that smart. So being on the internet, I have to deal with this, of course. And having an opinion, I have to deal with this. As do these kids from Parkland, but they have to deal with it on a much greater scale. I'm talking about them, you know. And then I have to hear them, somebody come into my channel underneath a video and talking shit about these kids, or just taking this total Trump approach, which listen, I watch all the stations I can. You know, I'll read the New York Times. I read it all, and you're convinced because Trump says it's fake news that it is. I'm telling you right now that it is not fake news. What do you think? CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, MSN, all of them are in cahoots together, and Fox is the only one that's like, and we're not even talking about Fox Fox News, we're talking about Fox opinion shows. Sean Hannity is really telling the press, he has conversations with the president, and the president doesn't really have an opinion. He just takes on other people's opinions that seem to make sense to him, and that it will, you know, shore up his base. It's about him keeping this 35%. I don't know. Our country is in we got a real problem here, and it does have to do with who is in the White House and what's going on in the White House. If you think things are going well, as he said he was going to hire the best people, but he's fired his best people, clearly. You know, all of his, you know, campaign promises. The wall, just the other day, he's posting a picture of construction on a fence they're putting up in someplace in California that has been an ongoing construction for 9 years. They're replacing this wall, and he's saying that he's telling you all, okay, the construction has started on the wall. It hasn't. His wall isn't going to get built. He got $1.5 billion to shore up the borders. That's it. He wanted, I think, $25 billion, maybe more. So he didn't get what he wanted. So instead of him just saying, yeah, we're going to use this $1.5 billion, we're going to make the border tighter. No, we're building the wall. We started. He's lying to everyone in this country consistently. Stop watching Fox. Just try and do something different. Do something different. That's all I'm saying. You're doing the same shit all the time.